Hello, everybody. My name is Troublemaker,
And I'm Rangru.
and this is the 3v3 tournament of Glorious Design.
And today we are watching a match between Tactical Chaos, and I'm just going to check real fast, and Bork. So, on the Nato side, we have Bork with Yugoslavian, Kung Fu Treachery, and Chosimba.
And for the Pact, we have Tactical Chaos featuring Saberhawk, McMacky, and Griffor.
And the map today will be 3 Mile Island, one of the new maps being added. I quite enjoy this map, so it will be quite a pleasure to watch.
After the fixes, it became a very spectacular map. I suspect it'll become a staple for the franchise.
Yeah, because it's really greatly designed. You have 3 flanks to go down the right side, the middle, and the left side of the map. So all the players have evenly divided sectors to try and capture for themselves. And there's quite a bit of room as well.
Tons of spawn points, tons of places to battle.
Yeah, and you have the nice little industrial area in the middle, which will be probably a napalm cluster fest.
Yeah, there's like a lot of really cool things. There's a slight advantage in the middle for Pact on this map.
Yeah.
Ever so slight, just because of those reactors act as a line of sight.
Yep. Too bad he can't chuck a grenade or rocket down reactors and if it's a nuclear reactor, I don't know if it'd cause a nuclear explosion, but radiation would still do quite a bit of damage.
Isn't there actually a nuclear explosion at 3 Mile Island? I think it's actually contaminated, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it was one of the first test sites for nuclear reactors, I think. Almost certain. Anyway, that's probably why those 2 silos are there, though.
Test site between a war zone. So Pact bring out quite a few helicopters, a lot of Mi-24 transports, yeah, an awful lot of Saberhawk getting a whole fleet of Mi-2s, Sokals, and Mi-24 VPs. So, and NATO, not too much on the helicopter side. Kung Fu Treachery got a few Super Chinooks and Cobras here and there, as well as a few Hueys.
Yeah, you need to have, well, you don't need to, but it's very good for the middle to have at least a few infantry in helicopters just to kind of grab the areas closest to the middle there.
Yeah. The best thing to do in middle is try and capture your opponent's site and neutralize it with a CV, so you deny him the points. So, for example, NATO, if they manage to get into the Lima side of the town and put a CV and a bunch of infantry guarding it, it's going to be a pain in the ass to try and rout them out. Because there's an awful lot of buildings to hide in, an awful lot.
And these teams, I've never casted any of these players, ever. And,
I think we did Tactical Chaos once. We did do Saberhawk and McMacky and Griff once, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it was you, but not me, because I don't...
It probably was me, actually. Now I'm thinking about it.
Probably on your channel, because I've never covered any of these guys. It'll be a surprise to see how they play. And
I played against TC before, Saberhawk, McMacky and Griffor. They're pretty good, I have to admit. They kicked me out a few times. I haven't seen bloody Bork play, so I don't know how that will go.
I have a feeling Bork is almost made-up team with newer players.
Yeah.
I've played against Yugoslavian. He's pretty good, but I don't know the other 2.
Yeah, same here. Match has started. Mig spam. Yeah, mig spam is a little bit of mig spam. One Phantom from Yugoslavian up against a bunch of MiG-23s and MiG-21s. You have an F-15 who's also coming out. He's probably going to get right out the sky if those MiGs get into range. The Phantom didn't even drop. Oh, it did drop. No, it dropped a few of its bombs, but a bit of damage there. F-15 going down. Another F-15 coming up. And damn, those MiGs just eating at NATO's air.
And a lot of these aren't the standard Category C deck, which is your pre-1975 fighters. These are mixed deck, and they're strong.
Saberhawk landed into the middle right before Kung Fu Treachery candidates, Mi-24s and Sokals. So Kung Fu Treachery, little helicopter, so will not go down too well.
You got one Mountaineer in, but that's just not nearly.
Yeah. Not enough indeed. Now this Mi-24 is just completely destroying. They have a few Stingers being deployed from Treachery in a pretty good position to start shooting at the helicopters, but they seem pretty panicked and they are getting shot at, so they will go down. Damn, that was just... They're all choke points all the Kung Fu's unit, so he can't really do too much.
No, they look like they'll just be dying here, and there are reinforcements coming. There's going to be a flame. Like, they've prepared to lose here, and they've actually got one Cat C deck here so far, it looks like, with a lot of these K-234s. They have a napalm just in case they lost, which they didn't, but they have it there just in case.
Yep. It seems like the top side and bottom side. Oh, top side, McMacky just moving right into Goaf.
Oh yeah, and there's no anti-air here to deal with these helicopters. He picked off a tow, and now he's getting the Chieftain Mark 10, so this is not going to go well at all.
Yeah.
And they stationed these infantry here not to take over this zone, just to kind of block reinforcements. So these guys are already off to a very, very good start.
Very good start, TC, at the moment. And it does seem like Bork are being a little bit more defensive. They're not moving up anywhere on the southern flank at all. I'm just going to try and hold their ground. They're going to recapture Goaf sometime soon, because McMackie's going to be bringing up a CV. So it can bring up reinforcements from Goaf, and that'll be very bad. That means they can start moving up into Foxtrot with relative ease.
And take it the whole north. That's just, there's not a lot of bulk in the units here from Bork. They've gone for entirely quality and air fighters.
And they're bringing up two F-16s at top. They're going to nuke these Australian VDVs. Yep. Oh!
Got the whole modal showcase while the VDVs still survive and still shooting off their RPGs. Might actually deplete their RPGs very soon.
Yeah, no, almost only have 3 shots left. And McMackie's going to capture Goaf and start bringing up some reinforcements. And in Foxtrot, just look, there's only 2 Chieftain Mark 10s. I know he's bringing up some Chinooks with Mountaineers, but that's hardly anything.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really hard to come back from. They're already +4, which is pretty brutal. And, McMackie's just continuing on with these Cat C units, bringing out these really cheap but super effective tanks, bringing some recons.
SU-24 Seed, even though... Yeah, I'm just looking at Nato. It didn't bring much AA at all. Like, on the southern flank, you have a few Rolands, but up top and in the middle, there's nothing. Except for,
And this map itself is pretty hard for AA. Basically, the bigger the map is, the wider, the longer it is. The less effective AA is going to be, and so
you have to cover more ground with more AA.
A lot of people just choose to not play the AA game. They'll just go completely for air superiority fighters.
That's what Pact is doing, because they just have these MiGs on constant standby, moving them up. And then looking on Pact's AA situation, southern side it's not too much. Yeah, everywhere is really not too much AA, just a few Osas and Books.
And that's just how it's played, and I mean, you can get pretty far behind this map if you spam AA.
McMacky bringing out a T-64B and some SU-122s at the top left, and try and guard that open ground area between Foxtrot and Echo. And if they all they have to do is hold on for like 5 minutes, and they could probably win the match.
Well, what they're going for, instead of going for Foxtrot, this is a really cool and interesting idea. Instead of going for Foxtrot, they're going to try and protect the crossroads area leading into Foxtrot. And that way, since they control that area, they will be able to knock out a lot of units that try and reinforce that area.
And they're going to have to force them to go through the other road. And that's going to stop them from trying to take back Goaf, which is a pretty good idea.
But in the meantime, they can just randomly carpet bomb Foxtrot, which has the air, and until they eventually get that command.
Yeah, which is sitting in that corner, hoping for dear life it does not get spotted.
So very, very good strong tactics for these players. Very impressive so far.
Yeah. Only at +3 at the moment. Does seem like Nato managed to capture a few of the zones that they haven't captured. I think he had Delta uncapped for a little bit. I wasn't paying too much attention to that part, yo.
Yeah, they had a CV in there, but the positioning wasn't particularly great. Like I said, there is that one spot. You put it next to one of the reactors on the outside, and it's out of line of
Oh
sight.
yeah.
It's almost impossible to target. It's just a really, really good location.
Reactors save lives.
And I mean that northern position right now, just picking off every single unit that's coming in through unit force, they're eventually going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yep, Foxtrot CV actually got sniped by an Su-24 carpet bomber, doing quite a bit of damage to Seat, and they're just racking in the big bucks at the moment. Does seem like McMackie's and Tri-Sneak recon everywhere, moving them through the top side of Delta, and this is not a good position at all for Bork. Not a good position.
Now they might just have gotten out compositioned here. And every NATO player we've seen so far has tried to do this. They don't go for air spam themselves because the Pact just get way more units and just out air spam them.
Yeah, like every single match, it's been MiGs will beat EF-15s.
So a lot of there's not many in this tournament. A lot of the NATO players have been opting to just go for a few and only use them when they can guarantee there's no air contestation. But there's a small northern push kind of happening right now, just trying to push into Echo, and that could be game ending for them.
Yeah, there's not too much in Echo. Kung Fu bringing out a few M60s and helicopter infantry, but apart from that, not too much else. You know, some pivads being brought up from Kung Fu. And that MI2 at McMackie's bringing around to top left. Could get a sight on the CV maybe. Nope, F-15's going to come in and ruin his day with a good Stinger missile. AIM missile. Yep, gone.
And they can pick off, he can just leave without any losses now, before this MiG-21 shows up during his day.
Oh, they shoot each other down, it seems. I think the book helped, but it seemed like they shot each other down.
It's still a really bad exchange, though. The F-15 is like 160 or 170.
140 at one.
Yeah, it's an expensive guy, you know, and you're trading out a 50 or 60 point, maybe it's 80.
Yeah, one's like, in the mix on, Lazarus is like 80 to 90.
Yeah,
so not a good trade-off.
Very, very bad trade-off, and this is getting pretty brutal pretty fast. The Revedka is actually moving up, and basically, with this kind of play, the Revedka is going to act as a spotter. The tanks will move up slowly, and as soon as they spot anything at all, the tanks will kill it.
Yeah, Napalm, the Revedkas are going to start feeling the heat just very shortly, same with Su-132-54. Phantom coming in just at the right time to stop, push.
See if I can do an old man thing, and whoa, your Revedkas are on fire. Back to you, Rangru.
Yep, and Pact at like 70 cents of the point they need to win. Just keep bringing out more units. yugoslavian has this run chieftain Mark 10 of run HP hiding in that forest. He's run lucky sort to even manage to get you. But hopefully he won't get spotted and destroyed.
I mean, it's in a position where it's barely possible for it to be spotted because it's not really giving itself away.
It's gonna fire?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that changes everything.
Yeah, just run RPG shot and it's gone.
But it might be able to do a little bit of damage before it's an inevitable downfall. I mean, it's kind of just really allowed the targeted vehicles.
Wait, the BTR machine gun killed it.
Yeah, that's highly unlucky because they just usually bounce off.
Wow, that is like the BTR killed a chieftain.
Yeah, right in the middle. Probably ruined his day too because you know, that was the only thing stopping this big giant push of cheap tanks and the infantry carrier vehicles, and there's also like a cool little southwest flank on Foxtrot of Moto's jockeys moving up the side. So he's just completely surrounding this area, not letting anything get away, and he's also kind of positioning his infantry in such a way that they can hit anything that's going to show up after the fact.
Oh yeah, very good indeed. Pact, CV and India did actually manage to get sniped by good old Nato bombing runs, so they're going to buy another one, slowing down TC's point progression just by a little bit. And they are moving up into Foxtrot with quite a few more Strecklys. Got the Mountaineers and the Fox are doing their best trying to hold them off. I won't think TC will be able to catch a Foxtrot before the match is over, to be honest.
No, we got about a minute left into this, and yeah, it's...
Oh, SU-24's coming in. Be bombing those Mountaineers, and Fox is up. Yeah, speaking like the Foxtrot area, it's usually a very hard place to take, because you do have those infantry garrison points next to a lumber mill, and those roads are very close to those lumber mills, meaning that you can just RPG anything that pops over the edge. And it's great for, you know, flamethrower tank blocking on those little roads upwards. So Foxtrot is usually pretty easy to defend, even with a very skeleton force.
But so far not the case here. He's just kind of made it look really easy. Huge difference in skill level play here. I have a suspicion that if Bork are going to stay in this tournament, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if Bork want to stay in this tournament, if they want to compete, they're going to have to start getting a little more practice in and figuring out, you know, who's going to run what deck on what map.
Yeah. Because this was kind of... They didn't even get 1 point in the entire match, which is never good.
Because they didn't even have enough Hilo infantry to take any point. At the very beginning of the match, they lost Golf right off the bat, and they lost Delta.
Yeah.
That's 2. That should basically never happen.
That's usually never a good position to be in. And now it's going to be finished up with Foxtrot with a bunch of MiGs and SUs and some bombing runs. And that is a match here. Oh god.
The command did survive. It wasn't a very high killing game, all things being what it was. It was just very, very fast paced.
Yeah, TC really gaining a lot of ground very early on, just kept on pushing. And just didn't give Nato really any breathing space at all.
Well, it's good to have a bop in this tournament, and that was a bop.
Indeed, indeed. That is all we have time for today. I'm Rangru.
And I'm Troublemaker.
Take it easy.